Oh, so people from other countries are smarter than me? Huh, okay. Ask someone from Russia or China to run a successful 2-minute drill out of the wing T offense. Did they say waggle, jet sweep, down pass, flood, go pass, belly sweep, rocket belly, jet reverse, fade 6 points, suck it? No, they didn't say that? Huh, that's weird. Oh, you're building a spaceship? That's cool, man. We just got 6 and we're getting ball back to start the half. I hope World War III starts tomorrow.
Armchair.
Hyperbole is done. Now we can finally play the game. It is the third Saturday in October, and the show is on one more time in Knoxville, Tennessee.
We are live in Tallahassee, the capital of the great state of Florida.
There's no law against scalping tickets in this part of the country, and premium prices have been paid. That's Desmond Howard going in motion on second down and 5 for Michigan, playing on real grass at Michigan Stadium. Throw it to the sideline. It is intercepted. Florida State was sitting and waiting for it, and Terrell Buckley has scored a touchdown. How do you do?
All right, here we go. 56-yarder. It's got, no, does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game.
They're still in deep trouble in midfield. They tackle him. The ball is still loose as they get it to Rodgers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. But the bands are out on the field. There were flags all over the place. The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heartrending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California.
In trouble in the backfield, wants to throw now, and he's going to go deep. And I mean deep, and I mean touchdown, Florida! Tyree Cleveland in a miracle finish. A Hail Mary that's full of grace for the Gators.
Barkley trying to bounce it. And does escape. Saquon Barkley in the clear. Still going. Saquon Barkley all the way to the end zone. Electric. 79 yards.
It's a 31-30 game. And what does Nebraska do?
I have not seen the kicker come on the field, and I don't think he's coming on the field. Tom Osborne made this decision a long time ago. He's decided to go for 2 and take his shot at winning. I commend him for it.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska.
And if in 48 seconds they become the winner, they certainly deserve to be national champions.
Here come the Seminoles of Florida State. One of the great traditions in college football. And this becoming one of the nation's favorite rivalries. It's a battle for flagging rights and recruiting advantages in the state of Florida as the Gators come calling, and Chief Osceola ready to get it started. College football. A matchup from the state of Florida. It's the Gators against the Seminoles on an overcast day in Tallahassee.
Moody flush, throws it down. Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it.
Today, we've got number 1 Seminoles against number 2 Hurricanes. They meet in the capital city of Tallahassee.
Hello, everybody. How the hell are you? Got Tones Areola joining me. I believe Joey and Bobby are on the way, but they're sleeping and scratching stuff and, got their hands where they're not supposed to be. cause a cramp that way. Here comes Bobby. I guess he's finishing up. And I don't know where Joey is. But anyways, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Mac. It's bowl season officially. We got a game starting any minute now, I believe, actually. Appalachian State's getting ready to kick off. So excited, man. One of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, how are you this fine afternoon as bowl season gets kicking off?
I'm doing good. I got a win at MTSU yesterday. That was good for not only the bowl prediction thing, but also my team. So happy with that.
Did you get the other one? Yeah, you got the
Coastal Carolina one.
Coastal Carolina one. I did not realize until this morning that I had Coastal Carolina so high up. I'm glad they won. So we're doing a confidence pool to just try to keep up and have fun with it. And I'll put the link again in. I put it in yesterday's show, but I'll put it in again. So if you want to join into the pool and just kind of have fun and see where everything's at. Realistically, even if you don't do it until today, you at the most you're missing out on 5 or 6 points because you can just do nothing but much higher stakes, going forward. But I had 37 points on that Coastal Carolina game. I had no idea. I thought I was like 12, right?
And they just had to cover to get the points, right?
Yeah, had to cover. I think the line was really small. I think it was 2.5, something like that. Matt Carr, who was on the show yesterday, he was texting me last night and saying how much he was involved in. It wasn't until this morning that it dawned on me what he was talking about. He had 43 points on that Coastal Carolina game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. So there you have that in the standings. Well, I don't know. I'm confused on these standings now.
I'm 0-1 on there because I got my Middle Tennessee picking late, but I did
what
take.
Was the line? Was I wrong about the line? I'm confused.
No, you were right on the line. I took Middle Tennessee in 11 points yesterday. I thought that was too easy, honestly. Looking at these bowl games, anytime a team gets double digits, I just.
So why is it that you took Northern Illinois? Bobby took Coastal. I took Coastal. Matt took Coastal, and it's all in white, whereas the Middle Tennessee isn't all in green. Everyone that took.
That's interesting to me.
I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna have to investigate this. I don't see a total points, but I think it means that if it's filled in, that you would have those points.
Right, you would think so.
Maybe Coastal didn't cover.
What was the final score?
I thought they won by 6. I thought it was a pretty low line. I thought it was like 2.5.
Oh, I thought it was a little big. I can't see because I can't bet on Illinois college teams. Thank you, Governor, for that. But anyways, I thought it was a double-digit line. I could be mistaken, but I thought it
wasn't double-digit. I know that it wasn't double-digit. But my point is, no matter who covered, why is it all in white? Whereas those of us who took Middle Tennessee is all in green, which obviously, green means go.
Maybe your team has to win. Yeah, that's confusing to me.
Push? Is that because?
Well, if it's win, then we should have gotten it from what's it called? From Coastal, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying is that someone should have gotten.
Points.
I'm thoroughly confused by it.
We'll have to investigate this to a T.
Because all of I'll just use us for an example because we're the only ones sitting here. The three of us, all of our point system is sitting right there. Let me go back into it. I got to find the actual pool itself, but it's sitting. Oh Lord, it's gonna take me a second. The short of it is, we're all sitting in white. You did not make a pick on the first game, Tony.
Right.
Okay. Yours is in pink, which I think is supposed to be red. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is in green for Middle Tennessee State. Then you go over to the next column and everyone's pick is in a white box. Well, both Bobby and I took Coastal. You took Northern Illinois. It's got to be one or the other. I mean, what the hell am I looking at here? That's what I'm confused about.
Do you think maybe they take a while to update their thing?
That
maybe
could be it.
Probably is it.
Homeboy could be sleeping in. That could be another thing.
Because I'm sitting here in ESPN fantasy football, and Harrison Bucker still has 2 points for me. That dude had 2 field goals and 2 extra points Thursday. So between ESPN and whatever site we're using, people could just be behind right now.
Maybe one guy's running it all and he just fell asleep. That might be it.
I'm trying to find where
it's Joey running it. Joey and Angelo.
Anyways, I'll find the thing again. It was an updated board, and I don't know where the hell I was, and I had to close out that window because something screwy was going on. So, anyways, long story short, here we go. After all that nonsense, no need to go over the 11 a.m. game because by the time this thing drops, the game's going to be over. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the 2:15 Eastern. By the way, if you got YouTube TV, you got screwed. I don't know if anyone is noticed this. If you have YouTube TV, no ESPN this morning. You woke up to no ESPN. What a bunch of crap.
And did you know, I heard yesterday 41 of 44 of the bowl games are on ESPN this year. So,
well, yeah, they always are. Cause I mean, most of them are unwatchable. So you're not going to have these on like big primetime games. Right. But it means you don't have ABC, et cetera. After the show, I'm going to figure out a different way, and I'll have ESPN by the afternoon games. I just haven't decided which outlet I'm going to go into. And they're like, oh, I saw some idiot go, oh man, they'll have it back in a week. In a week, you got 6 bowl games on there today and Monday Night Football, et cetera, et cetera. You okay?
Yeah, Florida plays on Thursday.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not going a damn week. My marriage will not survive it. I can tell you that. It's not going to happen. All right. So let's go ahead and go into the game UTEP Fresno State. I'm showing here the line's 11.5. We'll start with U-Tones. Where did you go with this?
For our buddy, Mr. Tone, I took UTEP. You know, I just think that UTEP plus 11.5 in a bowl game, getting that amount of points, it should be a decent bowl game at that, actually, for an early one. But I just like UTEP getting the points. I don't think that they've actually done a tremendous job covering all season long. If you look into it, I was kind of diving into this bowl game a little bit yesterday at lunchtime because what else better do I have to do at work, right? But UTEP actually had a decent season this year, and you know, their only hindrance seemed to be a thorn in the side of UAB. So, you know, 5 losses on the year, but it was a pretty good year overall for them in terms of covering. Fresno State, they played some big teams. They beat some good teams, and then they lost to some bad teams. Like they lost to Hawaii this year, but then they turned around and they beat a team like San Diego State. So you never know what you're getting with Fresno State on any given day. I think UTEP is solid at covering this year. They're 7-5 overall, but I think they 10 wins against the spread, covering the spread. So I like UTEP with the 11.5 today. I think that's a lot of points for a bowl game, especially one this early on the slate.
Okay, I figured it out. We were just talking about the points thing. I believe we're right that they just haven't woken the hell up that maybe this thing's coming out of California. And so they haven't crawled their ass out of bed. And Coastal Carolina was giving up double digits. I thought it was much lower than that. I had it confused. I must have had it confused with the Appalachian State Western Kentucky game because it's 2.5.
Yeah,
so Coastal Carolina pickers are in trouble.
Are screwed. Yeah, I just got screwed. I took Coastal Carolina minus 10.5, and I don't think they covered. I think if memory serves me correct, it was 47-41 was the final. A really crazy game. So eventually they'll update it. I guess with those points locked in, we're in the white means it means the game has kicked off, but they haven't decided who covered the spread yet. So that's what it is. All right. Good morning, sir.
How we doing, Mr. Mac? How's it going?
You're a sleeping son of a gun, aren't you?
No, I was in the. I've been in the waiting room for a while. I was wondering what was happening.
Keep your hands where we can see them. That's all.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Okay, so the next game so you're going UTEP. Bobby, which way did you go on this one?
I put 10 on Fresno State to cover, and I only put 10 on it because I'm not terribly confident in it. But, Fresno State, they're ranked at a point. They're having a good year. Their quarterback's playing at a much better level. He has 32 touchdowns and 9 interceptions on the year. 3,800 passing yards. So they're having a good year overall. Their offense is moving well from what I see. And yeah, it is a lot of points to cover, but I'm hoping Fresno State can get enough going on offense to put enough points up to cover.
Yeah, I took Fresno State as well, but I had no confidence in it. It's only 4 points on it. I just saw, man, I really did this on the fly last night, and because I had about 9 things going on. We're hosting a get together this afternoon where everyone's going to be drinking and making cookies and stuff. And so, anyways, I was trying to do about 9 things at once, and I just realized, man, I put 39 points on that Appalachian State game.
Wow.
Go App State! I got to get ESPN quicker. I might have to get off of here.
I put 42 on App State. Yeah.
I've already pulled it up. I've got it on the what the hell do you call it? The game tracker or whatever. I'm gonna be watching that the whole time. I'm like, what the hell, man? I put that much on a game I don't even know that much about. Although Appalachian State is really good, and that was a low line. I don't think I knew I put that many points on a big line on Coast.
Sadly, they're down 7-0 App State already.
They're driving though.
Yeah, good Lord. Here we go. I'm gonna be at
so me and Mac are gonna be done early at the showers.
The 3:30 kickoff. This is an interesting one. BYU hosting UAB. Looks like 6.5 point spread is what I'm showing over here. What was it? Yeah, and it was 6.5 on our thing right now. I don't know if they're going straight off the ESPN lines on this runyourpool.com or not, but I took BYU minus 6.5, but I only put like 10 confidence points on it because it's one of these games where I hate giving these big points in these bowl games, but a lot of bowl games do turn into blowouts. Tones, what did you do on this?
Yeah, I actually took UAB in the points in this one, and I think BYU is a superior team. But as you said, the points are just tough to pass. UAB's offense could put up points at a premium. They've hung tough with many opponents this year. They've put up 40 and over half their points this year. So if we're looking for some excitement in the Independence Bowl, we might get it between BYU and UAB. I do think BYU ultimately does have the chance to stretch this game out and make it a big difference, but I like
your confidence points.
I chose moderate on UAB. I think I went low double digits on UAB. I wasn't too confident in this one, but I like him to cover.
Bobby, what about you?
Yeah, I went with BYU to cover this one. I hate to disagree with Tones again, but I put 25 on him actually.
Man,
a little
you're
hardy
going all in early, man. You're gonna have like 1 point for the national championship game.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I know that the championship thing was a little bit odd. I think the last one you picked was a champion, the winner, and picking between 2 teams is a lot easier than 4. So I went with.
You have the ability to wait until the very end because these picks don't get locked in because I chose the option of the picks not getting locked in until kickoff of each game. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I would say eventually. When we get to the national title game, they'll have a point spread, and then at that point you can make your pick.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right. Well, for what I have right now, I got 25 riding on BYU, and I'm not going to change it. Tyler Algiler, BYU's running back, he has 20 touchdowns on the year, 5.6 yards per carry. And UAB, they're 8-4. They don't really they don't move me as much as BYU's played a tougher schedule, I'd say. BYU is 13 in the country, finishing 10-2, and I have a lot more confidence in them not only winning this game but to cover.
Well, I just feel like they'll be more physical. I'm waiting to the very end. I got that national title game worth 40 points, so I'm just going to wait and see who's in it, and you go from there. Because I didn't want to be totally out of it, and be at the end of the national title game, have like 3 points on the line, and go, oh man. Stupid Coastal Carolina and your lack of defense. Have you made an entry yet, Joey?
Yes, I have an entry. I got BYU for 39.
Gotcha.
I have my picks up right now. I kind of like you. I was scrambling to do that. I made all my picks of teams who I want, but with points, I was kind of putting heavy on it early.
I went
so
by
I
the
got
team colors.
yeah, like NCAA March Madness.
I'll tell you this much: I took South Carolina State because screw Jackson State. That was my mentality there.
Hey, sometimes you gotta love and hate a team. I did that with a couple of these games.
Jackson State can kiss my ass.
What day is that game on? Oh, it looks later. Okay.
I have
The Travis Hunter commitment made me very happy. Happy to see that.
Yeah, well, the Florida draft class. Recruiting class.
Rebuilding. Give it time. Give it time.
I'll put it this way: y'all's hiring has made me very happy because evidently he can't recruit.
He can't be much worse than Norvell. He can't be much worse than Norvell.
Below Vanderbilt. What
we
do
were
you
looking
at
Norvell? Give it time. Hey, we got that
Norvell's
number one
in the
safety.
top
We got
10.
that number one safety.
Norvell right now has a top 10 recruiting class. 12 on Rivals, 10 on ESPN. What are you talking about?
Fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I am still going to be very happy about them losing Hunter.
Go back and look at your actual recruiting class. It's terrible.
We got that 4-star linebacker and the number one safety. So far, not.
Well, you're gonna need him to try to chase everyone down because they're gonna blow right through your defensive line.
Notre Dame and Penn State did a hell of a lot better than I think Florida, according to Rivals. But we were looking at that yesterday, right?
15, Vanderbilt is 15 slots in front of Florida. Vanderbilt. We had this thing pulled up the other day. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday. We did it.
Laughing about this.
Yeah,
because we took Florida, Miami, and Southern Cal, and I started naming teams that were above Florida's recruiting. I think Florida's gone up a little bit. Let's see where they're at now. No, they're still all the way up to number 47. But these are teams that out-recruited you. Central Florida. Oregon, brand new coach. Don't want to hear it.
Love this.
Where's Oregon ranked at?
43rd.
Pretty low. Illinois was ahead of both.
Illinois is 38th in the country.
It is hard with a new coach.
Vanderbilt is 34th.
It's very hard with the new coach.
I would like to have an investigation there. Vanderbilt is 34th.
Hey, maybe it's a smart class. Maybe this class has brains. Or maybe not. If
Maryland is 30th.
If they want to go to Vanderbilt.
Maryland, Boston College, and Purdue are all ranked ahead of Florida.
Well, I would expect Florida to struggle. A new head coach, it's not going to be easy,
South Carolina is 26 slots in front of you. Well,
I'm gonna remember this. I'll remember this.
At least you tried.
This will be fun. This will be fun.
This will be fun. This will be
very fun to reminisce on.
Still better than a Dan Mullen recruiting class.
Absolutely.
And the team that I know you loathe, Tennessee, 11th in the country.
I hate Georgia more than I hate Tennessee. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's right now, but wait till you're a young squire. You've never lived in the middle of Tennessee when the Gators are sucking and the Vols are winning. Wait till that happens.
Yeah.
You're gonna not be a happy camper.
I can't wait till both your
They're
teams
always
are
rebuilding, but next year might be their year. Like they might go. Kentucky's how the hell is Kentucky 10th in the country? I want a full investigation on that one. That is garbage. This looks like a basketball recruiting class. Kentucky, North Carolina all in the top 10. And if Texas A&M is doing legal things, I'll eat my hat. All right. Not the out recruiting Alabama. Look, Rivals has Alabama above, but a couple others have Texas A&M number 1 in the country. Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Texas A&M's killing it. Maybe not legally, but
no one's ever grown up saying I want to be an Aggie. All right. Game past that Eastern Michigan Liberty. We won't waste our time on that one. The line is 9.5. Real quick, everyone. Don't give me your life story, Tones. Just tell me who you picked in your confidence.
EMU and 21 points behind them.
Bobby?
Liberty and 20.
Joey?
East Michigan 22.
That's stupid. I hate this mouse. It keeps screwing everything up. I think I don't even remember where Are these listed in chronological order? It looks like that they are.
Correct. Yes.
So I think I took liberty. All right. Next one is Oregon State, Utah State. That game is tonight at 7:30. We won't spend a lot of time on this one either. -7.5. What you got there, Tones?
I got Utah State at 22 in this one. I like them in their conference championship. I hope they carry that over. I like them with their 22.
Bobby?
I go Oregon State, but not too confidently, only at 7.
Yeah, I did the same thing at 5 points. Joey?
Utah State 19.
Wow. Going all in.
My heavy points are early, so it could be an ugly week.
You're going to be flipping over from that Patriots Colts game to be locked into Utah State, Oregon State. Did you put it back on the LA Bowl?
I'll have a heart attack if that's the case.
Louisiana. This is later tonight. Louisiana and Marshall. Tones?
Louisiana's coachless. I'm going with Marshall. Marshall getting points. I have 23 on Marshall. Too much probably, but all these bowl games are a coin flip.
It's -5.5, by the way. Bobby?
Yeah, I got Marshall as well, just because there's no Napier left in Louisiana. But I don't got a ton on Marshall. I only got 16.
Joey?
Marshall for 30.
Wow.
We are Marshall.
So I'm glad all three of y'all said Marshall, because that way I can say Marshall.
Yeah.
I'm taking Louisiana. I just figured they got the better team. But 5 points, 6 points, I think I put on this. All right, so there's no game tomorrow for obvious reasons. And then Monday, there's a 2:30 game because we got to have a game on in the middle of a Monday afternoon. Tulsa and Old DU, Old Dominion. Tulsa's a 9.5 point favorite. Tones?
Love me my underdogs. Old Dominion for 16.
It's a lot of underdogs, aren't you?
Yeah, I do that every bowl year. Sometimes it plays out, sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully this time it does.
Bobby?
Taking the favorite again. I'm going Tulsa, but with only 6 on it.
Yeah, I got Tulsa too. I only put 8. Joey?
Tulsa for 16.
How is it every single one of yours is like double digits? Like, I think you've got more points to play with than we do.
Oh no, it gets sad towards the end. I have a lot of low points on the bigger game, sadly.
Took Memphis for 73 points.
I'm gonna have like Alabama for 1. It will be bad.
Wyoming is a 3.5 point favorite. That game will be played on Tuesday afternoon. Jesus. Tuesday afternoon, -3.5. They're playing Kent State. Tones?
I'm going with my Mac, baby. Kent State. Give me Kent State for 24, Alex. 24.
Bobby?
Going to Kent State. I'm going with my first underdog, I think, 11.
Joey?
Wyoming for 7.
Yeah. Oh, I did the exact same.
That is a low one.
Wyoming for 7.
No
There's
way.
Single digits.
That is spooky getting the same number.
By the way, Monday, Tuesday, you're going to have the 2 NFL games on each day, and then you're going to have these bowl games on each day. Tuesday, you're also going to have an evening game, Texas San Antonio, -2.5 against San Diego State. Tones?
For Tony Aguilini, baby. We're going with UTSA. I know he'd be proud of that one. San Diego State's cost me a couple times this year. I'm going with the fight in UTSA for 25, please. I think they got this one.
Bobby?
Give me the nearly undefeated UTSA Roadrunners, 12-1. I'm going to take them. I got 34 riding on it.
Wow. Joey?
San Diego State 33.
Boo.
Love me or hate me, it is what it is. I'm not here to be loved.
That's why Tony didn't make it on today. Yeesh.
Oh, come on.
I took Texas San Antonio just because Tony never shuts up about them. So I was like, whatever, man. I put them 15, but a lot of these weren't calculated. It's like, screw it. I'll put it there. And then I went back and changed some of them. That takes us to, I believe this is Wednesday. All I have is the dates next to it. So Wednesday, the 22nd, You got Army -3.5 against Missouri in the Armed Forces Bowl. And I wish they had the locations for this next to this. I guess I can go to the other screen to look at that. Looks like that bowl. It doesn't tell you. No, yeah, it does. It's in Fort Worth, Texas. All right. Tones.
Yeah, I like the way, and this bowl game's actually a decent one. I think I like the way Missouri ended the year. Army didn't look great in the Armed Forces Bowl. Obviously, that's something else. But Navy got the better of Army, and Navy didn't have a great year. I like Mizzou with 26 in this one. Give me an SEC squad here.
Bobby.
Going with the SEC allegiance here. I'm going to go with Missouri, and I got 19 on them.
Joey.
Mizzou for unlucky number 13.
I went ahead and went with the Army because I love my country other than some of y'all.
USA.
I'm going off of the fact that Army can run the ball. Missouri's looked terrible in a couple of games. They have looked much better on the back half of the season. I can't get that Tennessee-Missouri game out of my head, so I took Army -3.5.
Missouri
there might not be a pass all game in that one either.
Okay, now let's set 45 minutes aside so Bobby can tell us about the Central Florida gas parade. Bobby, we'll let you have first dibs here. Where did you take it, and what were your confidence points?
I don't really think it's a question of where I took it. I don't like UCF at all. This is 100% biased, but I got 36 on Florida covering. I don't like UCF. I don't like their fans, and I'm praying we just beat the snot out of them.
Wow, coming in hot.
36.
Tones, what about you?
Yeah, I keep going back and forth in this game. This is one of those games. It's an interstate battle. I could see it going either way. Right now I have UCF in there for not too high of points. That could change. Right now I got UCF with some low points in this one.
What were your confidence points on
it? 16, I think.
Joey, what say you?
I got 11 on Central Florida.
I took UCF, but only because the Gators smell bad. And honestly, I don't know what to make of this game. I really don't know what to make of this game. Florida has the better talent.
Is Napier coaching this
last game?
No,
Napier cannot coach the bowl game.
Yeah, he's not going to coach.
Billy Knox is. But Billy Knox, I think he might step up over Mullen.
None of your new coaches are going to coach a bowl game because they just don't have enough time to implement anything. And they're spending their time right now out on the recruiting trail. So I saw that Emory Jones is transferred. That's probably helps Florida.
Absolutely.
They were saying it's his last game, but yesterday there's a report that came out that said that he's already entered the portal. So it's a little confusing. So I don't know which is I feel like he made the announcement and they said kick rocks. That's the way I read into it. But
I would at least keep him around for the bowl game. He's better because Anthony Richardson has knee surgery. So
well, maybe they just like, screw you, dude. We don't want you showcasing your talents. Kick rocks. I don't know. That's the way it was presented yesterday. Now I don't know which is true, but I did see the original report early in the week where it said that he was going to transfer after the bowl game. And then yesterday, I think it was, I saw a pop-up that said Emory Jones has entered the transfer portal. You can't be transferring and playing at the same time. So I have to get some kind of clarity on that, but maybe I'll look that up here in a second. But I went with Central Florida in 19. That's really heavy. I might change the points on that. I don't really have a reason for it. I just other than the fact that the changing of the coaches could be an issue, and I still think Florida's going to win the game, but 7.5 I could just see a backdoor cover. The next one is the Frisco Bowl. That is going to be on the 23rd, Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. You will not be watching that. You will be watching YouTube and listening to Tones and I do the Tennessee Titans and San Francisco 49er ball game. So we shouldn't even do this one out of protest, but it's on the list. Miami -3.5 against North Texas. This is Miami of Ohio, by the way. What say you, Tones? What were your confidence points?
I got Miami of Ohio in this one for 28 confidence points. I'm going with Miami of Ohio.
Wow. Bobby?
I got the Mean Green at 14 points.
Is that just because you like to say Mean Green?
Yes.
Fair enough. Joey?
I have Miami of Ohio for 18.
I took Miami, but it's one of my lower ones. It's 11 points. I don't really know what to make of this game, to be perfectly honest with you. I took a lot of favorites because college is a little different than the NFL, where they seem to be able to cover some points. This one's interesting. Hawaii is the home team. They're a 6.5-point dog, but they're playing a Memphis team that's been playing pretty damn good football. 6.5-point spread. Tones, what say you?
You know, you got to take the Hawaii in the Hawaii Bowl. I feel like it's not right if you don't. I got Hawaii for 29. You know, that's a far journey for Memphis, and it's a holiday. You know, Hawaii's going to be fired up, and Memphis is going to be looking to get back with their families. I got Hawaii with 29.
Bobby?
I got Memphis, actually. I got them not too confidently, only at 9 points, but I think they're a better team. And I think I have a little bit of faith in them covering.
Joey?
Me and Tones actually have the same number on this one. That's the second time I oddly did that for Hawaii 29.
Yeah, I took Hawaii and mainly just because they're at home. And a lot of times what happens with that deal is you get these kids get excited to be in Hawaii and they lose their mind and get lazy as hell, and they get on the football field and Katie barred the door. Is June Jones still coaching Hawaii? I think he is. Or is he retired?
June Jones?
Yeah.
I think he's coaching them still.
Anyways, he's always got a wide open offense. So I'm gonna look that up here in a second, but
it says
it's Todd Graham.
Todd Graham.
Okay. So I thought I saw where June Jones retired. He was the Falcons coach years and years ago, and then he got fired and went out to Hawaii. And I mean, he was out there for a couple of decades, I think.
They got Todd Graham. Todd
Graham coach at Rice
since 2020. Todd Graham's been Hawaii's head coach, it seems like.
And he coached at Rice, University of Tulsa in Pittsburgh.
So he's done absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Todd Graham, you're on our no good list today.
June Jones from look and see what he did. Has he been? Oh Lord, he's been gone for a long time. 2007.
Wasn't Nick Rolliver?
He was the SMU guy. That's right. That's right. He's the one that kind of resurrected SMU, and then he kind of stepped down. And I think he went to high school football. I forgot about that.
I think Washington State's old head coach who stepped down, if I remember reading correctly, I think he was at Hawaii a little bit, the old Washington State Cougars head coach.
June Jones was the guy that was the coach at the Falcons right before they fired him and hired Dan Reeves and went to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
So Hawaii's got a lot of interesting.
Who was the Falcons coach that walked out like mid-season?
Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
He was a joke.
What a jackass. Anyways,
that's true.
Enough of our Hawaii football memory lane. Georgia State. Now, this is Christmas Day. I think there's 3 NFL. There's at least 2. There's
2 games. Browns, Packers, and then Colts, Cardinals.
Yeah, me and Joe are gonna have a rivalry game.
We'll be nice to each other. Kind of.
Not by the time
we're gonna win that one, honestly.
If this COVID panic doesn't shut everything down.
Sheesh.
Everyone's
that would give D-Hop some time to rehab, so I wouldn't mind it.
What are you gonna do? He's gonna what? We're gonna play the Super Bowl in like freaking June. Okay.
Yeah, just shut it down for a month. It's all right. We can wait.
Did y'all see RG3? If this is
the
stupidest people I've ever seen. You see him yesterday? They should shut down the NFL for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Wait, he said that. Oh, jeez.
I was thinking you were talking about. I think he was saying how he would welcome a return to Washington. How he'd be open to signing with them.
Dude, it's
They
like
needed a
give it
quarterback.
up.
Who wants to hire him?
Well, then he just
As
made
a
a book
player?
about how awful they were, or
Is he
something like
talking
that.
about as a player?
Yeah.
Him or Kaepernick. It's like, come on now, both those guys, you're just not good anymore. It's sad, but
He wasn't very good when he was good.
he had that one
was
really
a
good
mid.
year.
He had that one good week, you know, where
It was
you're
the
like,
injuries
"Oh."
that killed him, really.
Yeah,
The injury did in the playoff game against Seattle.
he had the one good week, and the next week he got hurt, and then that was it. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, so you can't throw the ball forward. Okay, well, we're just gonna blitz the hell out of you." Oh, I would come back and play. Yeah, I bet you would, Panama.
Make $1 million to sit on the bench as a backup.
Yeah, cross-eyed bastard.
Best job in the world, backup quarterback.
Cross-eyed bastard can't read his own defense.
We are just
He sat there
unleashing.
in Baylor and just picked apart terrible defenses, and then came into the NFL and got his ass kicked. Now he's sitting in the booth with Mark Jones, who's a jerk to begin with, and they're doing terrible job on the calls, and we have to sit here and sit through it because half the time they're doing the Florida State game because we suck, and so RG3.
I just quickly turned into Robert Griffin rant.
Man, I want to throw him through a freaking window. He's like, let's shut it down. Everyone's like, just shut it down. They were all chirping that yesterday. I'm like, just shut it down. Shut it all down. We're all gonna die.
Hey, Robert Griffin, if it makes you feel better, I agree with you. I need D Hop and JJ Watt to get held.
Oh
Shut it down.
gosh, we'll shut
Shut it down.
Bobby off with them.
Newsflash: whether you get COVID or not, you're going to die. It's going to happen. Everyone's like putting a bubble in it. It's ridiculous. All right, moving on.
Where were we?
Let's get to the big showdown: Georgia State and Ball State. Tones.
Don't cry, Mac.
I'm starting to.
Get him. I don't blame Robert for saying shut down the NFL. We got bowl games like this on the horizon. Come on now. This is pure entertainment. Ball State for 30.
This should be on Monday afternoon. Like, what the hell are we watching here?
Why would you even put these kids on Christmas? You know, if anything,
let's pass these. Let's get past that game. That game's garbage.
Ball State 30.
We'll go to the Quick Lane Bowl, the 27th. Not a bad matchup. Western Michigan, 2.5-point favorite against Nevada. Tones, who in confidence points?
I got Western Michigan for 15 here. You know, I've watched them from time to time this year. I think they're a pretty competent team. Nevada has been too, but I like the Broncos in this one.
Bobby?
Even Nevada, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country, Carson Strong. I got a confident 35 points in him. Had to start spending big.
Isn't that where Kaepernick went to college?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
That was my reasoning for taking Western Michigan minus 2.5. I put 14 on the.
I don't blame you.
Like anyone who let that clown run around there. Joey, what about you?
Bobby hit it right in the head. I was going to mention Strong with his over 4,000 yards and 36 TDs. So I got Nevada for 9.
Boston College, Eastern Carolina. The Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. Tones.
I got Boston College for 14. They had a great start to the year, sputtered a little bit, but they're ultimately a better overall football program than ECU. That's why I picked them. I got Boston College for 14.
Bobby?
Yeah, I got a lot of points on this one. I'm not quite sure looking back why I do, but I got 42 on Boston College. So wish me luck.
Woo! Get your popcorn ready on that one.
Is your name Joey? Yeah.
Joey, what say you?
Boston College for 22, and I thought that was high. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah,
I took BC, but I've only got 16 on it. So if they lose, that might actually help me. Auburn, 3.5-point favorites against Houston. Did anybody take Houston?
No,
I did.
Of course you did. What's your confidence points on it? 1?
13, baby.
Okay.
Auburn, I just haven't liked what I've seen out of them this year when I did watch them. I'm not really confident in picking Auburn.
Bobby.
I'm not too confident in Auburn either, but I don't see them losing to Houston. I got them at 33.
Joey, what were your points?
Auburn low 6.
I took them at 29. I don't feel that great about it. I mean, Houston is ranked, but Who the hell have they played?
It's a weird game. A fun one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville, 1.5 point favorites against Air Force. Louisville's defense is horrendous, but their offense is starting to play well. Tones, what say you?
Give me Louisville for 12. Not that, this one could go either way. Louisville's got a nice little scrambling quarterback, though, who's looked to play better as the season went on, and I look for him to continue to do just that. I got Louisville for 12 in this one, and I'm sorry to the Air Force and Army.
That's just not right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Tones here. I'm going with Louisville as well. I only got 2 on them. This is one of the last teams I filled out, actually, and I went back and put 2 points on them. So I think I'm confident Louisville's offense putting up enough points to cover.
I take it that you took Air Force.
I'm being American. Air Force for 19.
I wanted to, but I feel like Louisville. I'll be honest with you, I have not seen a single Air Force game.
Me either.
Not very patriotic of you, Mac.
I saw them last year one time. Like, what channel do they come on?
CBS Sports Network 2.
If it's ESPN, I'm screwed.
Well, no, you're better off.
I've seen Louisville. Look, their quarterback Cunningham kind of reminds me of Lamar Jackson. He's a much skinnier version, but I just figured that they're going to put up enough points to get it done. The next one's intriguing. Texas Tech getting 8.5 against Mississippi State. Tones.
The 8.5 was too much for me not to take there. I got Texas Tech for only 11 points, not backbreaking here, but I just love them points for Texas Tech. And, I think they get the job done and at least covering in that one.
Bobby?
Yeah, this is a bit of a tough call to make, but and the spread's a lot. It's tough to do, like I said. But I got Mississippi State here for 26.
Where is that game at? It is it's in Memphis, Tennessee. That's Mississippi State's backyard. Joey, what say you?
I did not know that part, but I like Polk there. He has over 900 yards and 9 TDs. Texas Tech offense is going to light it up. I think they'll cover. I put 23 on him.
I take Texas Tech as well, but Mississippi State's been playing pretty good football. I will say that. Texas Tech, I feel like 8.5 is a lot, but we'll see what happens. UCLA's an underdog. They are 1.5 point underdogs to North Carolina State. Tones, what say you?
I got the Fighting Chip Kellys in this one. I think he has his unit ready to go. I got them at 10 points, and I just think that Chip Kelly shows the haters why he's sticking at UCLA, baby.
Bobby?
I got UCLA here. I got 37 on them, which I might swap that around with another team, but I'm still confident in UCLA winning.
What about you, Joey?
I hate Chip Kelly. I hope bad things for that man. So I'm going with NC State for 11.
I took UCLA. A, they're getting a point, and then B, the game is being played in San Diego.
Home game.
I got to start looking at that more.
We'll see if UCLA. Now, sometimes it backfires.
Does that I was going to say what the factors on that.
Because sometimes you'll get a group of NC State alums. They're like, we haven't been to a California ball game. Let's do this. This should be a lot of fun. And the people at home go, I'm not going to that stupid game. Who gives a damn about that? But we'll see what happens. Because I've seen many of Gator Bowls here where the team that's much closer, like we'll say like a Florida, and they have kind of a half-ass, like 30% of the crowd, and someone like Iowa brings down 70% of the crowd, and you're stunned by. But what it is those people want to get away from where they're at, right? Because if you make plans to go hang out in California for the holidays, it's probably going to be about 60 degrees and sunny. So next game on the docket is Minnesota, West Virginia. I took Minnesota, but I don't know why. Tones, what say you?
I have West Virginia in this one. My Big Ten connections couldn't get me to take Minnesota. I got West Virginia for 9. I'm not that confident in it, but the Mountaineers have been underdogs by 4 points or more in 4 games this year, and they're 3-1 in those 4 games. So, they like playing a little underdog football. I got them in a late night matchup here, and I think they beat Minnesota. Minnesota's lost to Bowling Green this year. They've showed some exploits. So I don't know. I'm going with WVU, but not confident in them single digit points with 9.
Bobby?
Yeah, Tanner Morgan has not been having a very good year. I'm going with West Virginia here at 31.
And Joey?
I'm going to make it a clean sweep, a little biased because I love Pat McAfee, who went to West Virginia, but led by Letty Brown, the running back. He had over 1,000 yards and over 10 touchdowns. I'm going West Virginia for 17.
And isn't this funny? There's a Fenway Bowl and there's a Pinstripe Bowl. I'm assuming Fenway Bowl is at Fenway Park. I don't have that information from me, but that's got to be what it is.
It is.
Okay. And then the Pinstripe Bowl is obviously at Yankee Stadium, and they're being played on the same day, 3 hours apart. Fenway has Virginia. Pinstripe has Virginia Tech. I mean, you talk about a couple of clowns that are just copying each other, the Yankees and Red Sox. Virginia Tech, half-point favorite against SMU. Excuse me. Virginia, half-point favorite against SMU. Virginia Tech, 1.5 points versus Maryland. These are almost pick-ems. Hit them both for me, Tones.
It's a Virginia sweep for me. I took West Virginia. I'm taking Virginia and Virginia Tech here. So, I like the direction that Virginia and Virginia Tech at the end of the season, they kind of showed some fight. Both are under new coaches, and I think they keep the momentum rolling. But 8 for Virginia, 7 for Virginia Tech. It's not like I'm overconfident in some of these matchups, but these should be good games nonetheless. But yep, clean sweep for the Virginias. Going with Virginia and Virginia Tech in these. 8 for Virginia, 7 for VT here.
Bobby?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Tones. I'm picking both the Virginia teams, and I agree with pretty much everything he said. Only difference is the points I got on them. I got 30 on Virginia, and I got 41 on Tech.
Woo, 41.
Be
wow.
Big game.
Ooh.
Big ones.
Joey, what say you?
I agree on one of the picks. I'm going with Virginia for 20 points, but I'm going to take Maryland for low. I'm not too confident in them, but I put 4 points on Maryland.
I took Virginia and Virginia Tech. Both of them are in the 20s, 22 and 27, respectively. That's not saying that I feel great about either one, but there comes a point where you can't make every single point worth 4. So next up, this is an interesting one. Clemson is an underdog to Iowa State, 1.5 points. I took Iowa State because screw Clemson. And I put 33 on that, and I don't feel very confident about that. So I might change that eventually. But right now I've got Iowa State beating Clemson. Tones, what say you?
I took Clemson for 6 in this one. I think Iowa State, coming into the year, them and Clemson were both top ranked teams, both fell off a little bit. Clemson did a better job at climbing back. I felt like got all the way to 19th ranked in the country, ended the year on an absolute heater. I look for them to carry that momentum to the Cheez-It Bowl. I like them as the underdogs at Iowa State in this tasty bowl game of the Cheez-It Bowl. I got 6 on Clemson.
Bobby?
Yeah, I got Clemson as well. They've really turned it around for the most part. Obviously not the result they hoped for going into the beginning of the year, but finishing 19 in the country, I think they beat Iowa State pretty comfortably. I have 32 on it.
Joey, what say you?
I just outbid Bobby with Clemson for 38.
Wow. So if I can get this Iowa State win, I can bank up some ground on y'all. I'm betting on Purdy over DJ Ugalele. The only thing he's done worth a damn all year long is that one Dr. Pepper commercial. You talk about 2 huge disappointments: Iowa State football and DJ Ugalele. They were talking Heisman with that guy.
Well, they'll probably be talking about Clemson quarterbacks and the Heisman talks before the year.
Well, they just got that kid out of Texas who's one of the top rated quarterbacks in the country, 5-star out of Texas. I think old DJ's going to hit the transfer portal by June. I think he'll be gone. Oklahoma's a 4.5 point favorite in the Alamo Bowl against Oregon. That game is on December 29th. Tones, what say you?
Well, Oregon ain't playing Utah in this one, so I like Oregon's chances. It seemed like they fared well against everybody but Utah this year. And this is really one of those bowl games where it was two teams that were college football hopeful at year's beginning, but then tampered off a little bit over time. I ultimately think Oregon here. I got 5 on them, so not overly confident, but the way Oklahoma played all season, I just can't, and the things that unraveled with their coach and quarterback situations, transfers, etc. Just a lot of uncertainty in Oklahoma right now. I like Oregon.
Bobby?
Yeah, I got Oregon here too as well. This is a pretty big one for me. This is 43 points. I think even if they lose, I think it's going to be a close game. Oklahoma's played in a lot of close games this year. I don't see this one being any different. I think these are two solid teams, and I think this one will come down to the wire. Hoping for an Oregon win though.
Joey, what say you?
Same points as Tones, but the opposite team. I'm going with Oklahoma for 5. Not overly confident, but why not?
I think I'm going to go with the Oregon. Both teams lose their coaches, and that's a problem. And the Alamo Bowl is in Texas, so that's a problem for Oklahoma. But the game's at 9:15 Eastern, so that's a problem for Oklahoma. I think Oregon will hang in there, and just I still think Oklahoma probably wins the game. I just 4.5 seems like a large cover. One thing I haven't paid attention to, I need to pay attention to this, is will these lines move up and down? So, like, will you wake up the day of the Alamo Bowl and the line is like 6 or the line's like 2? And
so the line will change on the
I
site.
don't know. I have no idea. So
that is interesting.
First time I've used this site. In years past, I've used ESPN. They did not have the same app set up, so I went with this site. Let some people that we don't know who the hell they are have our information. But anyways, that's where we're at on that. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. I feel like that's redundant because there's only one mayonnaise and it's Duke's. North Carolina, 7.5 point favorites against South Carolina. This should be a fun little rivalry game. Tones, what say you?
I originally had South Carolina in this one, and then I did some research and found out that Howell is actually playing in this bowl game for North Carolina. So I like North Carolina in this one. I think Howell has something to prove here as he looks to elevate his draft stock. I'm not overly confident because it is a rival game and 7.5 points. North Carolina giving that is a good amount in a game of this nature. But South Carolina kind of ended the year bad. They got blown out by Clemson. They lost a couple other tough ones to the likes of Missouri and whatnot. So give me North Carolina for 4 here. They got the superior quarterback who's trying to make a name for himself in the NFL draft.
It should be a good crowd. It's in Charlotte, so you know
the Duke Mayo Bowl.
Yes, so the North Carolina fans will be there, but that's not a very far trip for South Carolina fans, and they will travel. It's just not like they go to bowl games every year. So, Bobby, what say you?
Yeah, I'm not too confident in this one going either way. So I got North Carolina for only 1 point. Again, I just don't feel terribly confident in them.
Joey?
I'm not terribly confident in this pick, but I'm not a big Sam Howell fan, so I went South Carolina for 3.
I went with Carolina. We'll just leave it at that.
Bush League.
I went UNC, but I really wish this was like 6 points. The 7.5 worries me, but I don't think it's a game I'll actually touch. Tennessee, Purdue. Tennessee's a 3.5 point favorite. Tones, what say you?
Got a pound to my Big Ten buddies on this one. I'm going with Purdue in a little confidence here. I'm going with 2, but Purdue showed up in big games from time to time this year. The only one they didn't show up in was against Ohio State, but we see multiple opponents do just that. I think Purdue finds a way to come out on top in this one, and we've seen them play some underdog ball all year, and they ended their season pretty well. So their defense. It's going to come down to their defense. Their last 2 games of the year, they held Northwestern and Indiana to combined 21 points. So they'll see if they could keep Tennessee slowed down. I like Purdue here.
By the way, all these games are on the 30th. of December. So, but that, that'll give you a break on when you're the week of New Year's Eve, having day bowl games. That's traditional.
Yep.
But, the stupidness of having it like this coming Monday, it's just dumb.
And like good teams playing on that too. It's like, come on.
Right. Bobby, who did you go with?
Got to go with Tennessee. Their offense has been solid this year, really good. I think they'll put up quite a bit of points on Purdue. A little bit of SEC allegiance, I guess, but I think Tennessee is going to cover. And I got 39 on them.
That game is the Music City Bowl to be played in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep, that as well.
Joey, what say you?
Yeah, I'm taking Peyton Manning's alum Tennessee for 15.
Although they don't tend to show up as much when the game's in Nashville. I have noticed that the Music City Bowl, they hate having Tennessee at their bowl game because the fans that do come out are just the ones around the city. They want Purdue to be playing against like a Florida State or something where folks have to go in and spend money and put money into the hotels. So we'll see what kind of fans. I do think the Tennessee fans will be there, but it'll be interesting to see how many Purdue folks can show up. On that same day, the Peach Bowl. This is a good one. Well, we thought, and then we find out that
Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett announced yesterday that he's not going to play. And I feel like that line moved, but I can't remember if I saw it originally on a betting app or if it was on this website. But right now, Michigan State minus 0.5, so it's basically a pick 'em. Tones, what say you?
Yeah, I like Michigan State even before that news, but now I really like him. I only had 3 points on him because they did have Kenny Pickett, but now that they don't, I think Michigan State even more. They struggled at the end of the year a little bit against some better teams, but I think that Mel Tucker wants to go out there and win his first big bowl game with this big new contract. I don't see it ending good for him if he didn't win this one. So give me Michigan State for the 3 points and look for their ground game to continue to be explosive.
Bobby?
Yeah, if they had Kenny Pickett, I wouldn't have put so many points, but I had 44 on the MSU. And I think I made this right after the Kenny Pickett news kind of came out. So I think I don't know if they still are, but they were listed as half-point favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Mississippi State or Michigan State, sorry, for 44.
Joey, any difference?
Not much. Michigan State 34 after the Pickett news.
Mm-hmm. I took Michigan State at 38. I'm assuming these lines won't move, so that's originally I had a Pittsburgh. I thought Pittsburgh would win with Pickett. I thought they'd be able to score up and down the field. Michigan State would be trying to run to catch up, and they wouldn't be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But now with no Pickett, I'm not that familiar with the Pittsburgh backup quarterback, so I'm going to go ahead and roll in with the with Sparty. Wisconsin, 6.5 point favorites against Arizona State. Tones.
I actually like Arizona State getting the points in this one. It's a late night bowl game. It fits their time mold perfectly. It's a 10:30 Eastern clock in Vegas, so Arizona doesn't have to travel far either. Who knows what Wisconsin's going to do? It's cold in Wisconsin right now. They're going to be going to Vegas, having the time of their life, those guys probably. So little distractions coming there. And Herm Edwards is a coach who gets his team ready for the big one. I like Arizona State, and I got 31 points on the Sun Devils.
Bobby?
Yeah, I actually got Wisconsin here. It's been a pretty disappointing year for Arizona State, given that they started the year ranked. Jaden Daniels has not performed as they quite expected. But yeah, I got Wisconsin. I think they'll cover. I don't think it'll be a terribly high scoring game, but I got them for 23.
Joey, what say you?
I got Herm Edwards and the boys for 14 in Arizona State. And Mac, it looks like this next one's in your backyard.
Yeah, I got Arizona State as well, mainly just because it's a late night kickoff, and they're, Arizona State's not that far from Vegas, so I took them at 28. So yeah, A&M versus Wake Forest, the Gator Bowl, the Tax Slayer Bowl. 7.5 point is the line. I took Wake Forest. Not terribly confident, but I was pigeonholed to put 31 points on it because there's only so many options you have at some point. I'm concerned that Wake Forest isn't going to be able to stop A&M, but they should be able to score enough points to make it interesting. Tones, what say you?
Yeah, I'm right in your neck of the woods here. I'm only one off. I got Wake Forest for 32. Like you said, at some point, you just got to put the points where they are. And Wake Forest could put up points talking about points. So we'll see if they continue to do just that. They're actually couple notches ahead of A&M in the rankings, but as Max said earlier, who the hell knows it, all that good stuff. I just like Wake in this one. A&M lost a tough one to LSU to end the year. LSU had no business even beating A&M. I think that knocks A&M's demeanor greatly. And I think Wake Forest, they want to end their quote unquote Cinderella year on a good note. I think they do it by winning their big bowl game against A&M.
Bobby?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have the same issue, I guess, but as I was getting towards the end of this, it was either kind of, I was left with high points or low points, filling out the points for the matchups. So I only got 3 on Texas A&M covering because I just wasn't too terribly confident in it. It's too big of a spread to put a lot on it. But I think A&M, I think they get the win in this bowl game. I think I think they get a win and start riding into next year with Max Johnson at quarterback.
Joey, did you have the high points, low points, the emotional roller coaster that Bobby's talking about?
A little bit because, early on I used some high, but now I'm running into it here where I am going to trust Sam Hartman and the boys though and take Wake Forest for 26. As we get down though, I still got quite a few low points left and then a decent high. So I'm stuck. I'm all over the map.
All right. Speaking of an interesting one, Washington State getting 2.5 against Miami. Tones, what say you?
The battle of the new coaches again is underway. I feel like we've had a couple of bowl games now where a lot of these schools are looking for new coaches. I'm actually taking Miami now that Diaz is gone. I was stuck with taking him for 33 points. I think that they showed me a little more than Washington State this year. Although after Washington State lost their coach, they actually seemed to be playing better. So did Miami at the end of the year. I just like Miami. This one's kind of a coin flip. I was stuck with 33 in the boys.
This is one of my favorite bowl games of the year, the Sun Bowl, because it's always on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. It's always on in the middle of the day. And if you're off, man, you're getting fired up. You're, already cracking open some beers and you're watching it's usually a good matchup. If you're working, you're not worth a damn at the office. You're staring at the TV, So this one's always been one of my favorites. Bobby, what say you?
Yeah, I like Miami in this one. Tyler Van Dyke's been playing good football. And I pull it back up. I got 24 on Miami to cover.
Joey?
Numero uno on Miami. This is my 1 point game just because that's my least confident game out of what was left for 1 point.
I'm pushing all my chips in. I've got 43 points on the Washington State Cougars.
Wow. Let's go Miami.
They've impressed me. And I think they'll go out there with something to prove. Only concern is, man, that's an early kickoff for the boys from Washington. So it's going to be like, 10:30, 9:30 their time. That's my only concern. But there you go. Later on that afternoon, something called the Cotton Bowl playoff game. And Alabama versus Cincinnati, 13.5 points. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this. So if you didn't do it before, you could have fast forward all the way to this point of the show. Alabama, Cincinnati. Tones, what say you? 13.5 points is a big number.
Man, I don't know what I got 34. The lowest amount of points from here on out is 34 for me, boys. So buckle up here as I got some big heavy hitters coming. I know y'all are going to be on Alabama, so I'm actually going with the Cincinnati train. I think this one could pivot me here. I know a lot of people have doubted Cincinnati all year, although they're undefeated. They haven't played the toughest of competition, yada, yada, yada. They actually did win at Notre Dame, which is a very hard place to play. And, Brian Kelly may have had other things on his mind during that game, but one thing being another, Cincinnati did have a really good year, and 13.5 points is a tremendous amount of points in any sort of playoff matchup. Alabama is obviously the heavy favorite here, and I expect y'all to go heavy on Alabama. So I'm hoping this is one of those quote unquote swing states for me. I got Cincinnati at 36.
Bobby, what say you?
Give me Bama here. I know it's going to be the consensus pick other than Tones, I guess, but I got 38 on Bama. I don't see Cincinnati hanging close. I don't think they've had a tough enough of a road to the playoffs as Alabama has. I think they're ready for this, and I think it's going to be pretty ugly. But I believe me, I'm going to be rooting for Cincinnati and Michigan all throughout the playoffs.
Joey?
I 100% agree with Bobby. I'm going to be rooting for the opposite, but blowout city, Bama gets it. I'm going to put 30 on Alabama.
Yeah, I've got 42 on Alabama. I would put 42 on Alabama if the line was 19.5. I think Cincinnati's a fraud, and we're going to find it out. And
I love what I'm hearing.
I think Alabama's put the throttle doam, and by halftime, we're like, what time is that Michigan kick off? What the hell? What am I looking at? Thankfully, this is the early game. This is the 3:30 Eastern game.
I feel a lot better about
I hate
Cincinnati.
the fact that they're doing. I hate the fact they're doing this on New Year's Eve. It's stupid. They said they weren't going to do it again, and here they are. They're doing it again. But
should have been New Year's Day.
Yes. What the hell are we doing? But anyways, New Year's Eve, you're supposed to concentrate on getting just obliterated. You're not supposed to be like paying attention to a football game. You're supposed to have like a Bobo football game on, right? It's a perfect time for Texas A&M Wake Forest to be rocking. Next one on the docket. We're going to skip past the Boise State Central Michigan game and go to the Georgia Michigan game, and then we'll go back. Because at 4:30 is the Arizona Bowl, which is Boise State, Michigan. But to complete the playoff thought process, Michigan is getting 7.5 points against the Georgia Bulldogs. 7:30 kickoff in the Orange Bowl. Tones, what say you?
Give me the banana bread khaki wearing SOB, baby. I'm going with Michigan. Big Ten fandom. We got Harbaugh. Georgia crapped the bed. They could have put Alabama down in the dumps that last game of the year. We all know Georgia doesn't want to face Alabama again if Alabama does win that game. Georgia wants no part of this playoff anymore. They blew their damn chance. Michigan's going to come in, smack them in the mouth. I got Michigan for 34. And I really, even though they're underdogs, I don't see this one. I don't see Georgia even sniffing within a touchdown in this one. I think Michigan's better than advertised.
You like Michigan outright?
I like Michigan. I'll be all over that money line when that comes out.
Nice.
Bobby, what say you?
I love it. I don't like Georgia at all. I'd love to see them just collapse at the end of the year. I don't like that team. I don't like their fans, and that'd bring me a lot of joy. So I'm going to go with Michigan. I think even if they do lose, I think they'll still cover. I think, like Tone said, I think they are a lot better than advertised. Michigan's a good team, and I think they'll at least cover. I probably should have put more points on it looking back, but I got 8 on them. But I'm pretty confident in Michigan covering.
Joey?
Let's go 3 for 3 with McNamara and the boys. Michigan for 18.
Wow. This is really making me feel strange about taking Michigan as well.
Oh, the sweep.
So when the Georgia Bulldogs win this game and win it handily,
people are done listening to us.
We're like, oh, we gotta watch Alabama versus Georgia again. I've just been impressed with the physicality of Michigan. I think whoever wins this is probably doesn't have much of a chance of beating Alabama regardless, because Alabama's going to throw the ball. And unless you're going to blitz, which maybe Michigan or Georgia will blitz Bama second time through for the Dogs, but they didn't blitz Bama the first time. And I hope Michigan wins it outright, because I'd like to see a different scenario, a Michigan-Alabama national title game, but I've got a funny feeling we're going to get Georgia. Georgia's going to find a way to win, but Michigan covers the spread. Okay, back to Boise State, Central Michigan. Boise State's 8.5 point favorite. What say you, Tones?
I got Boise State in this one for 35. It ain't no far travel in this bowl game for Boise State. And, it's just based on name here. I think Boise State is just prime in bowl games as opposed to Central Michigan. I was stuck with some points, had to throw some fat points on some skinny meat, but I'm going with Boise State here for 35.
Bobby?
I got Boise State as well, but not quite as much. Only 4 points on them.
I took Boise State 2 points.
Boise State 9 for me. So there's that.
Not a lot of riding on it for us.
All right, the next one, the Outback Bowl, Penn State Nittany Lions get the Arkansas Razorbacks. That game, I believe, is in Tampa. It normally is with the Outback Bowl.
Mhm.
It is correct.
That should be a fun one. Is there a possibility that you're going to try to go to that game since it's in Tampa? You're home away from home.
If I wasn't saving up for the playoffs right now, I would totally be at that game. Or if it happened to work out where, you know, Bucks were playing the home game after, although that's impossible because you can't have a bowl game Saturday and then NFL game on a Sunday. That would be a little bit of a disaster. But I did exhaust options trying to go, and it is destined that Penn State's in the Outback Bowl. I've been listening to Tampa sports radio all week. Tampa Bay is fired up to have this bowl game, and I think it's going to be an entertaining one. Arkansas has been a fun team all year. They ended the season and started the season well. Their middle of the season kind of went a little unhinged. And Penn State, they started the season tremendous. They ended the year really bad. So we'll see if they could bounce back. I got to take my boys, Penn State. They're in Tampa Bay in this one too. So I think the stars are aligning here, and the fandom and me, give me Penn State for 37 for no good reason. But Clifford, his time at Penn State's nearing the end too. So, for all the things he's done there, he's going to want to ball out for him.
Bobby, what say you?
I only got Arkansas for 17, but I'm still pretty confident in them. Give me a big game from KJ Jefferson, Treylon Burks. I like Arkansas to win the cover.
Joey?
Penn State 27.
This game is on the first, right? Yeah, they are on the road. The Bucks are that Sunday. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not going to that. You can't do back to back.
I took Arkansas. I don't feel that great about it, but I do have high confident points in it because I just kind of pigeonholed and painted myself in a corner. So I got 36 points on the Razorbacks, and I hate doing that because last time I really paid attention to a Razorback game, they got their ass drug all over the field by the Georgia Bulldogs and didn't even attempt. I was getting like 17 and a half points that day, and it wasn't even close. The damn score was done by halftime, but I'm still taking Arkansas. I really don't believe in them that much, but I kind of figured if I'm going to beat out Tones, I got to go against Penn State. So that was my other thought process of it. Next one is Citrus Bowl, 1:00. It always drives me nuts how the Outback Bowl and the Citrus Bowl in the same state, just a couple hours away from each other, and their kickoffs are literally 60 minutes from each other. So Outback's at noon, Citrus is at 1. Why the hell they have to do that, I'll never understand. Kentucky versus Iowa. This should be a fun one. Tones, what say you?
Yeah, and although I adore the seasons that each of these teams had, I think we all could say that each of these teams had a lot better seasons than what we imagined for these squads coming into the year. Iowa's biggest kryptonite was those big time games. They couldn't get over in those big time games, and then Kentucky, they continued to play good all throughout the season. But with Stoops at the helm,
Stoops is building something there, man. I don't know how, but he's doing it.
He is. I actually flipped my pick in this one from Iowa to Kentucky. I had Iowa at first, but Kentucky and Stoops have earned my trust. I got Kentucky at 38 points. I'm just throwing ham at the wall at this point.
Bobby?
Yeah, I could see this game going either way. I really like both of them here, but I got Iowa. I do. I like them, and it's crazy to think that they was number 2 in the country at one point. But I got 21 riding on them.
Joey?
I have Kentucky, and the points on that. Sorry, I lost track of play. 26 Kentucky.
It's strange that the 2 Yankees are taking Kentucky and the 2 Southerners are taking Iowa, but that's what I'm doing. I'm taking Iowa. I just feel like Iowa will find a way to win, but I've got way too many points on this. I'll probably move it down at some point. Right now it's at 41. I doubt I'd leave it at that. That's a lot of points to put on an Iowa Hawkeye team that sometimes just forgets that they're a football program. The next one. Now this one's kicking off at the same time. This is so stupid. Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, 1:00 Eastern. Fiesta Bowl, even dumber. Unless they move that Fiesta Bowl, that thing's out in Arizona. So what is that, like 10 a.m. local time? Notre Dame, Oklahoma State. Notre Dame's a 1.5 point favorite. Oklahoma State, a little bit of a home field advantage, but probably not, because you got a lot of Notre Dame fans that they're going to be out there. Joey, we'll start with you since these are your boys. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, even though I love what Oklahoma State has done this year, don't get me wrong. They did come up short in that Baylor game, but that was just an epic classic game where they just turned it over a little too much. I am obviously going with Notre Dame. I didn't put the highest of points on it, as I'm pretty confident in the win this game, but I could easily see it going either way. So I have a Cone and the boys leading Notre Dame to a victory. I got it at 10 points, but like I said, I won't be shocked if Oklahoma State comes out victorious here. It's not a boat race either way.
Tones?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a boat race. Oklahoma State end of the year in a heartfelt message. They had the playoffs in their hands. They lost a heartbreaker. You can't really recover from that. Here, Notre Dame, all the players got what they wanted. They wanted Marcus Freeman as their head coach, and they didn't want Brian Kelly. So you got two programs feeling totally opposite this time of year right now. Notre Dame's happy as hell, and Oklahoma State is disappointed that they're not in the playoffs. So I doubt Oklahoma State shows up to this one. I think Notre Dame blows them out. I got Notre Dame for 39 points.
Wow. Bobby, what say you?
I got to go with my Cowboys here, man. I was hoping to get in the playoffs. I was pulling for them hard. But you know what? They fell short, but I still like that defense a lot. I like that team. I think Oklahoma State, if they don't win, I think they'll at least cover, but I anticipate them winning this game. And I got 29 on them.
Knocked out by the slimmest of margins. I mean, he get pushed out at there at the 1 inch line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So close.
I still don't understand why when he's running that direction. I know he's a speedster, but he's got a guy chasing him. He's only got to gain a yard. If he plants his foot and dives, there's no way that guy's stopping him. I don't care how good of a player, a tackler you are, the momentum, you're both going to fall into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't understand. He's over there trying to run and reach it. I mean, dude, you just stomp on the ground, dive in. That dude's not, first of all, there's a good chance he's going to run right past you. But the other thing is, even if he doesn't, the only way he's going to stop you and hold you up, he's going to have to be running at you. He's running with you. There's no way. Anyways, I'm going to take Notre Dame -1.5. I got 32 points on this. I feel like Notre Dame is probably going to out physical. And look, Freeman gets a chance to show what his program is going to be like. So, Joey, I haven't paid attention to it. Have they lost a lot of the coaching staff? Are they going with Kelly, or are they staying with Freeman?
To be honest with you, the only initial looking I've done is they're still I haven't seen too much action either way on what I've read. I don't think I've seen it get that far in the Notre Dame meetings. Yeah, I've seen one guy leave with Kelly, but that's all I know so far.
Because I'll tell you what, if he doesn't bring a lot of that staff with him, what did you really hire? You know?
Yeah, that's a true point too. I didn't really think about it. Well, and Marcus Freeman's beloved, that is going to be a close one that I'll have more information on next time, because I'm interested to see who they truly like there.
The next game, as we're coming towards the end here, Ohio State, Utah, the Buckeyes, that's going to be 5:00. That's the Rose Bowl. I feel like this is Utah's first time in the Rose Bowl. I don't remember them in the Rose Bowl before. I don't have it in front of me, but I really don't remember Utah in the Rose Bowl. So 6.5 points is the spread on a Utah team that, I mean, they've played good football, and congrats to them to get to the Rose Bowl. It's got to be a big deal for that fan base. You know they're going to be well represented in Southern California. Tones, we'll start with you. Where are you going with this?
Scariest part is Utah might even be better next year because all their defenders are freshmen or sophomores. So you look at it like that, and their defense that's dominated all season long, especially Oregon a few times now. I like Utah in this one. I only have 4 points on it. So, it's not one of those things where I'm screaming out of confidence, but I've just watched Utah time in and time out this year. And, they keep overcoming the doubters, the disbelievers. Their defense is showing up. And again, Ohio State's one of those teams that had bigger aspirations than the Rose Bowl, I feel like. So they could be overlooking this one a little bit. I think Utah keeps it close enough to cover. I like Utah in this one.
Bobby, what say you?
Taking Ohio State. I know it's pretty widespread, but I think Ohio State's going to want to come out of this year with something after a tough loss to Michigan. And I think they're a better team. I see CJ Stroud and that receiving core having a big game. And I got 40 on them.
40. Joey, what say you?
I'm in similar thinking with Bobby. Great minds think alike. Ohio State 37.
I got Ohio State 44.
Oh, you beat us all.
I think they're going to blow them out.
I could see it.
Because when I say blowout, I mean win by 14, 21 points. Because I just don't know if Utah is going to be able to the biggest question is going to be how motivated is Ohio State in this. If they come out flat, then Utah definitely has a chance to upset them. But Ohio State's got to be a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. And as far as I know, Stroud's going to play in the game. So I don't know why he wouldn't. But as far as I know right now, Stroud's going to play in the game. So if Stroud plays in the game and doesn't sit it out for whatever reason, he is he a freshman?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's got to be a redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, he's a redshirt.
Okay.
But I think he's a freshman.
I was about to say, I feel like okay, so I don't see why he wouldn't play then. So hell, he'll be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and mail him the Heisman Trophy.
He's already candidate this year.
2 more games on the docket. Baylor, Ole Miss. Tones, what you got?
I got Ole Miss in this one, although Baylor, I love the year Baylor's had, and I think their head coach is, the next head coach or a big head coach opening in college football. I think Ole Miss is just too much, Lane Kiffin does have that program trending up, and I don't think they suffer any hiccups here. I got 41 points for Ole Miss.
Bobby, what say you?
Got to go with the Baylor Bears. I like Ole Miss, and I like what they've done this year. Matt Corral's been playing great. That Baylor defense looks solid, and I think it'll be enough to contain Ole Miss. I think they'll win this game by a pretty close margin, but I see them covering. And I got 18 on Baylor.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm a big Corral guy. I like what he's done this season, especially in big games. They seem to put up a lot of points in a tough conference. So I'm going to not put a lot of points on them, but I got Ole Miss for 6.
I took Baylor. Couple of reasons, mainly because of the turmoil, and then you're losing Johnson, and I figure Kansas. Sorry, I got my eyes on one line, and we're talking about the other game. I took Baylor, Ole Miss. Ole Miss, I think, will have a hard time stopping Baylor's physical style of play, and I kind of figure Baylor's going to turn the ball over quite a bit. Turn Ole Miss over quite a bit. Corral, now he is playing in this, right? Because I believe he's eligible because people keep talking about him going into the
draft. Haven't seen otherwise.
I think him and all the seniors for Ole Miss are playing.
Yep, that's what I heard too, as of now.
All right, so Matt Corral is a junior. He's a redshirt junior. Hell, he's 22 years old. He's definitely going pro.
Yeah.
If he's going to play, then right now I'm going with Baylor, but if I find out that Corral's playing, I might switch that. I have a feeling he's not going to play. Thankfully,
you think so?
I just do, man. I
wouldn't blame him, I guess.
What does he gain from it? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What does he really gain from it?
I think as a fan, I just get more mad. I'm just biased.
I know. And these bowl games basically mean nothing nowadays. So I don't know if he's going to go out there and risk injury in a game that doesn't realistically matter.
Because when Pickett dropped out of that Pitt game, that made a great game into nothing now.
Right.
So that's what makes me angry.
Ball games used to be really fun. You used to look forward to it. Now they seem like they're on their way. I've been pushing for this. I hope they do it one day to put the bowl games in August, late August, do it on Labor Day weekend, maybe so early September, and let the fans go visit wherever they want to go visit, and it kind of kicks off college football. And then that way you would get everyone watching. You would also get everyone playing in the bowl games. The way they do it now, it's going to start losing more and more. I keep going back to that Florida-Oklahoma matchup last year where like nobody from the Gators played.
Except Trask.
It was so damn disappointing because you just knew that you were about to see a showdown that is then turned into Dullsville. Because you're like, oh man, Pitts isn't playing. I mean, the list was like 5 or 6 starters that
Pitts, Tony,
Pitts and Tony
Grimes,
were
a
out.
bunch of guys on defense. Yeah,
I remember Trask played, and poor guy had no one to throw to really.
Grimes as well.
Right.
Yeah, Grimes. Yeah.
Okay, so now the one that I actually had my eye on that I was talking about a second ago because I had faded out there for a second. Kansas State LSU. I'm taking Kansas State because Johnson's not going to be at LSU. And other than that, that's kind of my only reasoning why. LSU should have better athletes across the board, but I feel like Kansas State will find a way to get the W. The game is in Texas, so it's kind of a mutual spot, Kansas and LSU. I don't know if LSU fans are going to travel either. That's my other question. I put 30 on it. Tony or Tones, what say you?
And real quick, talk about a weird date and place and time for a bowl game, right? It's like they load all these mini bowl games up early, and then they have one bowl game in the week of January leading up to the championship game. To me, if anything, they should have put at least a bowl game every weeknight that January.
It's a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. What the hell are they doing?
And it's January 4th, you know. It comes
right. That's what I'm saying, but it's a Tuesday night.
Right. It's just, weird scheduling. They don't.
Why are we waiting until 9 p.m.?
They don't have any other bowl games on the docket between January 2nd and January 10th besides this one and the championship game. So just a little interesting. And then you make it Kansas State LSU where it's, I agree though with Mac. I like Kansas State in big part of Johnson not even being at LSU. It's going to be hard for them to field the quarterback. I like Kansas State for 44.
They should just rename this to the unemployment bowl because all the people who have no jobs are going to stay up and 9 p.m. So it's gonna be like a 1 a.m. Finish to this game on a Tuesday night.
At least put it on a Friday, like that Friday or something, a couple days before.
Or, hey, here's an idea. There's no other game on. Put it on at 7:00 at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we waiting till 9? Is there a parade or something going on in the middle of the damn city?
Club going up on a Tuesday.
Jeez. Bobby, what say you?
Yeah, Max Johnson, he's headed to College Station. I don't see LSU really hanging too close in this one. I like Kansas State to cover. Not too much points on it. I only got 5 on them, but I like Kansas State in this one.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go the opposite here, and I had to use my 2 points somewhere, so I'm not overly afraid to use them. So I'll take LSU for 2 points only because you all took Kansas State, and why not?
Okay, let me see here. So yippity yap during that whole time period. I wonder if it's so I made changes on my dealing, then it said you were on this page too long, you can't save it.
That's what I hate. It did that to me like 3 times at work because I would go in, fill in 10, and then leave, and then they wouldn't save. I was like,
I guess I'll have to look at it later to see if what I tried to do saved. I have no earthly idea. I feel like I moved a couple of them around, but who the hell knows? All right. Tones, what is your walk-off for the day?
Is enjoy bowl season. I know they're not what they used to be, but it is the end of college football coming and going. So this is your last chance to see, especially if you're a fan of the NFL draft and whatnot. A lot of these smaller school guys look to make names for themselves in the bowl game. Obviously, the bigger name guys from some bigger schools do fade out. But this is how I learned about Josh Allen greatly a couple years back. Josh Allen, when he played for Wyoming, he was in some half-ass bowl game on a Friday at 5:00 start time. A lot of people wondering why you watch that. Well, a couple months later, Josh Allen was a top pick of the NFL draft. So really fun to watch some of these games, really fun to learn some of these guys on the gridiron. And if you are a sports junkie who pays attention to the NFL draft, you will not be disappointed watching a lot of college football from here until January 10th.
Bobby, what's your walk-off?
Yeah, enjoy bowl season as well, but you also got a huge NFL game tonight. You know, you got Patriots, Colts. That's going to be huge for the AFC. Big implications for not only these two teams, but also the Titans for all the fans of them watching. So, yeah, I think that'll be a huge game. But like I said, enjoy the bowl games. Have fun. College football is wrapping up, so make the most of it.
And Joey.
Yeah, Bobby stole a little of my thunder, but I love bowl season, but it's a go Colts tonight. We need it more than New England does. Simply, I hope good things happen. So I'm happy for the handicappers tomorrow instead of a little edgy.
My walk-off is I've enjoyed another college football season with all y'all, and I look forward to it next year when we bring Dixie Football Nation back. This is the last one we'll do. We will be on the air December 31st for the normal happy hour show. It'll be going on right in the middle of the Alabama-Cincinnati, but I am planning on doing a show because we're not going to do a show on Christmas Eve, and I don't want to take that long off. So,
and I'll be looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we pay attention and talk and not just stare at the screen. Go, hey, come on, stupid Cincinnati with your overratedness. All mistake of me sitting there right now. That dude just put a planted his foot and dove into the end zone. Even my fat ass could have got into the end zone. What is he doing? Like he thinks this is a race. You just have to go into the end zone. I can't believe I must have watched 6 analysts talk about that play and no one talked about it. So he tried to catch the front pile and he almost got. I was like, why is no one not talking about the fact that if you plant your foot and dive, that guy has no chance because he didn't have a backup, right? It was just him. Anyways, we'll see y'all next year. Hopefully anyone but the damn Alabama Crimson Tide win the national championship, but there's a good chance we're going to be talking about their defending national championship. Have a great holiday season, and we'll see you on the other shows. Please like and subscribe.